Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you are listening in today. Welcome back to Mostly Accurate. I am your host, as always, Monica, and today we are switching things up. We are kind of going to do like a mini episode, I'm going to say, just because I'm short for time and I don't really know, maybe it won't be a mini episode. I don't really know. It could just be a regular size episode, but it's basically just going to be one true crime documentary focused. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Trigger warning, this story that I'm going to discuss is very, very dark. So, after we get through our intro here, I just want to let you guys know that it is some deep, heavy, disturbing stuff that we're going to be discussing. So just trigger warning for anybody. But this morning, before I get into that, I just want to start off on a lighter note, just because you're in for a ride. So yeah, this morning is really busy, really scrambled, really busy. I am getting ready to pack the baby up. He is going to stay the night for the first time away from home ever. He's going to be, a year old in 2 days. And this is the first time he's actually staying the night somewhere other than home and somewhere other than with mom and dad. So he's going to his grandma's house. I did not time this well at all. At all. I still need to pack food, diapers. I asked Chat GPT to just make me a list of stuff because I feel like I'm going to forget everything. And I'm super panicked and I'm super worried and I don't know why, because it's like my mom. You know what I mean? Like he's going to be totally fine and there's a crib there and everything. And I don't know. It's just my baby and he's going to be spending the night somewhere else. And I don't know. It scares me a little, but it's okay. He's going to be fine. I know he's going to be fine and I'll get over it. Jameson and I are getting ready to go to a wedding today. So yeah, we're kind of on a major time crunch. Baby fell asleep about 20 minutes ago. We just have so much to do. He's actually getting his hair cut right now. And I don't know, we're just really last minute people. So this is the chaos of our lives and it's totally fine. It'll work out. But yeah, so that is the morning. Lot going on, but it's going to be a great day. It is gorgeous outside. Another heat wave coming through. It's going to be, I think, 82, Alexa told me this morning. So that's wild. I mean, we're basically in October and it's in the 80s. So what are you going to do? But good for the happy couple because it is a gorgeous day and I'm so excited. But yeah, let's talk about what we're talking about today. Not all true crime stories are about strangers in the dark. Sometimes it's about, the one person that you thought you could trust. And in December 2018, Ashley Young went missing after reconnecting with an old friend. This is exactly what happened. Days later, her dismembered body was found in the basement of a Grand Rapids, Michigan duplex. And the trail led right back to somebody that she thought was a safe person. All right, true crime friends, buckle up because today's story is rough, like investigation discovery rough, which is actually where this documentary aired. We're not talking about a quirky Florida man stealing gators. We're talking about a woman named Ashley Young who trusted the wrong person and it cost her everything. This case has betrayal, cover-ups, neighbors playing Nancy Drew, a dad who should have known better, and yeah, a lot of disturbing facts. So let's get into this. All right, let me just start at the beginning, I guess. Meet Ashley Young. She is a 31-year-old girl from Kalamazoo, Michigan. The reason actually that I have chosen this documentary, which you can watch on, I believe it's streaming right now on Hulu, HBO Max, anywhere where you can watch investigation discovery shows. The title of the show is called Can't Find Her, and it's within the series Body in the Basement. Just says a lot for right now. But yes, so Ashley is from Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is in West Michigan. I am from West Michigan as well. So this story I remember seeing it in the news. I remember it playing out like it was just like the most wild thing. And it like totally freaked me out because where this happened, like I had been to the pub, like the last place that she was seen before. And it's just like, I don't know. It was just very like a hit really close to home. West Michigan it's big. West Michigan is big. So basically, this girl, Ashley, she is from Kalamazoo. And then the story takes place actually in Grand Rapids, which is not very far of a drive. It's like 35 minutes. I'm from Kazoo to Grand Rapids. So I just want to plan that out for you guys so you can just understand if you're not from West Michigan. So, yeah, Ashley is on her way to Grand Rapids because she is going to meet up with an old friend. And our story starts the day after she is missing. So on Thursday, November 29th, 2018, Ashley's mom is calling her cell phone because she was supposed to meet up with Ashley. They were supposed to go apartment hunting. They were going to go shopping, just hang out, mother-daughter kind of day. And Ashley is just not answering her call, which is really weird because Ashley always answers her calls. It's her mom. Ashley and her mom are really close. So, her mom just starts to worry, like, this is so weird. Like, we had plans this day. Like, what's going on? She was supposed to drive up from Kalamazoo also just to meet her daughter and do all this planning. And the day prior, her daughter had called and left her mom a voicemail saying, "Hey, I'm actually driving right now. I can't talk. I'll let you know when I get to my destination," which she never did. So why was Ashley going to Grand Rapids? Like what's going on there? She was going to meet a man named Jared Chance. The weeks prior, so Ashley had been dating her boyfriend, Moody. They were really close. I believe it said they were dating for 6 years and the relationship was rocky. Okay. Like he wasn't from this country, so his visa was expiring and he was supposed to move back. Ashley was just kind of like, figuring out where she was in this relationship. Was it going to work out long distance, or is she just kind of like thinking it's time to move on from her boyfriend, Moody? Which she did, because in the documentary, we talked to one of Ashley's friends who, short time prior to her going to Grand Rapids, went to Detroit with her friend, and they went to go see a concert and they had a ton of fun. And Ashley opened up about how her relationship with Moody it was failing, and she had reconnected with this old friend that she met originally in 2009. And he had asked her to come visit him. So Ashley was like super excited about this. She hadn't seen this person in a really long time. Actually, I think the last time she had seen him was in 2013 because this friend, Jared Chance, they had a falling out. So Ashley was staying with her other friend's cousin, who also lives in Grand Rapids. And Jared at that time had broken into the apartment where she was staying at and stolen some things. Jared was on drugs. He was on alcohol. He had alcohol probation. He was a mess. Okay. He was struggling with a lot. And Ashley and Jared at that point severed their relationship and they stopped talking. But, fast forward 2018, 5 years later, Jared says he's sober. He really wants to reconnect with Ashley. And she's like, okay, I'm just getting out of this relationship. Maybe I can do this. Like, maybe I'll go to Grand Rapids. I have to go apartment hunting anyway. I'll meet up with Jared. So fast forward back to November 2018. Ashley is driving to Grand Rapids. She calls her mom, says she's going to call her back. She never does. Well, she ends up meeting up with Jared Chance, the guy that was a old friend that she trusted to meet up with. So she meets up with him and they go to a bar in East Town, or what people from like Grand Rapids, they call it East Town, a pub called Mulligan's. Mulligan's is like pseudo like dive bar slash like venue, I would say. I have been to Mulligan's before in my younger days, not so much anymore. But it's kind of where, like your like cooler, edgier, I guess, clientele hang out. So her bestie that she went to Detroit with, she gets a call from Ashley at 1:30 in the morning from Mulligan's. She says she's having such a good time. She's with Jared and some friends. They're inside. They're sitting at a booth, and you can clearly see her on the camera footage. Like, she's happy. She's fine. She's, like in the corner, like on the phone, like kicking her leg and stuff, just chatting away with her bestie. And this is the last time that anybody sees Ashley Young. So now let's fast forward to the next day. Ashley's mom is calling her. She can't get a hold of her. So what she actually ends up doing is, she panics right away because she knows Ashley always calls her back right away. And this is super weird. She's supposed to meet up with her to go apartment hunting, all this. Like, it's just not like Ashley not to respond. So she posts on Facebook like, hey, Ashley is missing. And her bestie that she went to Detroit with is just like, is this real? Like, what do you mean she's missing? Then she actually catches the eye of Ashley's friend from Grand Rapids. Do you remember the one where the friend had the cousin that Ashley was staying with in Grand Rapids? So Ashley's friend from Grand Rapids, sees this Facebook post, like, also, is this real? Well, then she comes to find out she's with Jared, and Jared was besties with her cousin. She's actually relieved because she's like, okay, Ashley's with Jared. Everything's going to be fine. He's a childhood friend. His parents are good people. His dad is actually a police officer. So she's like, don't worry, let me call Jared. Let me see where they are. I'll figure this out. So she calls Jared, no answer. And she's leaving voicemails like, dude, where are you? Like, Ashley's mom is freaking out. So she ends up giving Ashley's mom the phone number. Her mom starts calling around. She calls Jared and she's like, where's Ashley? Like, he actually answers at this point. So this is the next day after, he was with her at the pub. So then he's like, yeah, I went out with Ashley, but she's not with me. She's at Demetrius's house. And Ashley's mom's like, who is Demetrius? Like, who are you also, basically? And then she's like, give me Demetrius's phone number. And he's like, yeah, sure. Like, you'll definitely find her there. So Jared gives Ashley's mom his phone number. So she calls over there and he is like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, Ashley is not here. I haven't seen her at all. What's going on? Just oblivious to the situation. Like, he's super confused at what's going on. And that's really a red flag. If someone you're hanging out with goes missing and you're passing the buck to a mystery third person, you're lying. You're hiding something. Or both, but at this point, Ashley's mom is just frantic. Like, she's like, where is my daughter? Like, what is going on? So she actually does what any amazing mom would do. And she gets in her car with her partner, and drives to Grand Rapids from Kalamazoo. And, she goes straight to GRPD, Grand Rapids Police Department, and she says, my daughter's missing. And at this point, it seemed to me like, from what I got from the documentary, they didn't really take it too seriously. Ashley is 31 years old. She is an adult. And second, she's a resident of Kalamazoo. So GRPD is like, go back to Kalamazoo. You need to report it with Kalamazoo. Huge whole mess. Okay. So, they just kind of feel like they were brushed off. So let's fast forward. Because Ashley's mom is on a mission, and within the next 4 hours her daughter's body is going to be found. But 4 hours prior to her body being found, Jared and his police officer dad go to the police station. They go downtown. They go to the GRPD headquarters downtown, and he's like, hey, I was the last person with Ashley. Like, do I need an attorney? Like, my dad's here. He thinks I might need an attorney, and I guess the department was like, it's Sunday. We don't got anybody around. Like, what happened? Like, what's going on? And at this point, like, I'm a little fuzzy at like, if her parents like did report it with Kalamazoo County and it just hasn't made its way to Grand Rapids. I have no idea. But I mean, that sounds responsible, right? Nope, nope. It was a huge stunt, just to buy Jared more time at this point. So Sunday, this is all hours leading to when Ashley's body is found. Ashley's friend, the one from GR, she's irritated. She's irritated at this point. She's like, where is Jared? Like, why can't I find him? So she goes to Jared's house and she's like, where the fuck are you? Like, what's going on? She is furious. She starts like snooping because Jared's not there because, I don't know, he's with his dad having lunch or something at this point. And she notices like a trash can outside. And on top of the trash can, there's like work boots. And she's like, that is super weird. So she's smart though. So she grabs her phone and she starts recording. And she, is just pulling one thing out after another. She finds gloves. She finds body wash. She finds ammonia. And then she finds a saw blade. And freaked out, right? But she's recording all of this. And at that very moment, how I said that it was a duplex, the downstairs neighbors, they open up the door and they're like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? And then she's trying to explain, my friend is missing and I'm looking for her. And the last person that she was with was, your upstairs neighbor. And, she's like, just kind of like, I don't want any trouble. Technically she's sort of snooping on their property. She grabs her stuff. She grabs what she can. She's got her recording and she books it. Well, the neighbors took it upon themselves to investigate. And this is when they find a tarp in the basement. Super like bizarre. Okay. As brutal as all of this is, it gets more twisted. At this point, the neighbors make a call to the Grand Rapids Police Department and they say, I need somebody here now. There has been a weird smell for the last day, and we just found a tarp in our basement, and it appears that there is blood coming from it. Let's just pause here. It wasn't the cops who cracked this case, obviously. It was literally the neighbors doing some Nancy Drew snooping, neighbors and friends. Like, just imagine deciding like, hey, let's peek in the basement. And then you find a tarp and there's a body under the tarp. Like, you do not come back from that. Yeah, some really, really dark stuff, and it just keeps getting darker from there. So now the police have arrived. They're searching the residence. Under the tarp, they found Ashley's torso, her arms, her legs were found inside the house. There was no head, there was no hands, and there were no feet attached to Ashley's dismembered body. When they're searching the residence, they go into the kitchen. They find this big stain on the kitchen floor, clearly from the photographs that were taken. It's clearly blood. In the bathroom, they find standing water in the bathtub. There's no shower curtain, like none. It was removed. There is jeans like laying on the ground. There is, clearly blood stains on these jeans. And we're going to just fast forward. Autopsy is done, and it later shows there's no drugs in Ashley's system. So what was the cause of death? At this point, they left it as undetermined because they believe that the cause of death was to her head, which in this case is missing. So during this search, her mother, she arrives on scene conveniently because, mother's instinct. She drove back to Grand Rapids and she's, where's my daughter? Still on the hunt. Police take her back and have her interviewed. While they're interviewing, they ask, describe your daughter, describe Ashley. And, she had these big, beautiful eyes, she says, and just like this wonderful spirit. And at that point, the police have to tell her there are no identifying parts left. And at this point is when Ashley's mom makes the connection. You do not have her head. Really messed up thing to say. But, the only way that they can confirm that this body that they found is by DNA. So, there's no hands, there's no fingerprints, there's not a lot of identifying parts left to identify Ashley. So Christine, Ashley's mom, does a DNA test, to which later they find out that sure enough, like the DNA matches that it is Ashley that they found. So this is the part, I don't know, this is the part that really stuck with me. Like Ashley's mom describing her daughter and just like the big, beautiful eyes and just being told that those weren't there anymore. You know what I mean? Like just like no parent should ever have to face that. Never. It's just, oof, that's tough. Like this story is just really sad, and just the pain. I just can't imagine the pain that her mom felt in this moment. Police kept digging, okay? Like they keep digging. They realized that phone records for Jared were pinging at his parents' house at the time of when they thought the murder had happened, or dismemberment was happening. Jared's dad, again, former police officer, is interviewed, and he just makes some really weird comments during the interview. Like he says like, man, I'm glad I'm not working this case. And, the interviewer is kind of like, that's just like a weird thing to say, because like, why would you say that? And he's like, yeah, it's just going to be a really tough case. Which I don't know. It's just bizarre to me, because it's like your son is clearly involved in this situation, but it is what it is. So, the police, they're like, we need to search your house because our person of interest is at your house. And this is another quite a bit of a drive, because his parents live in Holland, Michigan, which is approximately, I want to say, the same distance from Grand Rapids. Like you're looking at like 30, 35, 40-minute drive to Holland from Grand Rapids. So they search the parents' house. And what do they find? Oh my God. Okay. So in the garage, they find the shower curtain, which we believe is the one from Jared's apartment. Under the couch, they find a reciprocating saw, which contained the flesh and blood from Ashley's body. This is just wild to me. Like they didn't even try to hide it. They literally put a bloody saw that still contained human remains on it under the family couch, just in the living room. It wasn't in a bag, nothing. It was just right under the couch. They were just watching TV with that under their couch, which at that point, that was enough evidence for the prosecutor's office to issue criminal charges against them. They are brought in. The parents are brought in. Barbara, the mom, Barbara Chance, is questioned, and they're like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Tell us your version of events. Barbara's like, okay, well, my son called me. He was crying. He was on the phone. He's like, Mom, I lost my job. I want to kill myself. And he's like, you need to come over. You need to just come over here. And as any parent would do when their child is suffering, they get in their car and they go drive to pick Jared up, basically at this point. And weirdly, he's like, I got some stuff I need to put in the car. Boxes. And James Chance, Jared's father, helps Jared put these boxes in his car. And I'm not just talking a few boxes. Like this is a lot of boxes. And according to Jared's dad, he thought it was just work stuff, He thought it was just supplies at work, which is really interesting, because I don't know about you, but I would be questioning it. Like, I thought you were here to kill yourself. Are you moving in at the same time? Like, what's in the boxes, Jared? What's going on? But I don't know. They don't question it, which is just bizarre to me. And, both of his parents admit that they helped move these boxes from his residence, but they drove all the way to Holland, Michigan with bloody boxes full of body parts. And they claim they had no idea, none whatsoever, what that were. Wouldn't there be a smell? Wouldn't you? Whatever. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But that, that's me using a rational person's brain. So anyway, Barbara, she says the next morning, Jared is sobbing. He says, there was an accident. Okay. First he's saying we were drunk. We were playing with this gun, and then Ashley had it and it went off in her face. And then, he's claiming, he's like, well, more happened. I panicked but I didn't kill her, but I did dismember her. Like, you panicked, like, uh, mhm. Again, rational brain cannot, I just can't rationalize why this happened. Like, this is where the case goes from murder to full-blown family cover-up. Like, imagine Thanksgiving after this. Pass the potatoes. Also, thanks for like helping me hide a torso. Oh my God, I can't with this one. It's just, I don't know. This family is either like the world's worst liars or like the world's worst parents. Like, sir, you were a police officer. You didn't notice the dismemberment starter kit in your own garage? Like, you can't just play off like you didn't know what was in those boxes overnight. Like, the whole situation is too bizarre to just be like, I had no idea. I didn't know that there was body parts. Like, are you kidding me? So, fast forwarding to the trial and sentencing. They arrested Jared. He was convicted of second-degree murder, mutilation, tampering with evidence, and he received a minimum of 100 years. So he's in jail for the rest of his life, rightly so. His dad, James Chance, was sentenced to 1 month in jail and probation for being an accessory. That's all. That's it. Barbara Chance, his mom, was sentenced to 45 days in jail and also probation. Not quite sure why mom got 15 days longer than dad in this situation, but again, who am I to know how our criminal system works? I guess. I don't know. Ashley's mom had to identify her daughter through DNA since there was no identifying parts, and this is the outcome of all this. Like, Jared gets a century behind bars, but his parents, who literally helped hide the evidence, basically get the length of a bad vacation. Ashley's mom lost her daughter. She had to sit through that trial and hear all the details, that no parent should ever have to hear. And, Barbara just has to sit out one Thanksgiving that year. Is that justice served? I guess, I don't know. This one's tough because it's like, you say you would do anything for your kids, but was that the right thing to do? Was it right to help hide all the evidence? Like, absolutely not. Barbara admits that Jared supposedly told her that he just drove around and found random trash cans to put the remaining parts into. And it's just sad. It's very sad because Ashley's mom just wants to bring her baby home. Yeah, this one was just tough. In closing, Ashley Young was a 31-year-old, vibrant young lady trying to move forward in life. She thought she was reconnecting with an old friend who had changed. He was sober, and she thought it was somebody that she could trust. Instead, Jared Chance took advantage of that trust in the very worst possible way. The real tragedy here isn't just murder. It's the ripple effect. It's the friends who are now traumatized. It's the neighbors who are now scared and, I'm assuming, traumatized for the rest of their lives. Basements. It's a mother who was forced to identify her child through DNA because there was nothing left. And parents who chose to protect their son's secrets, instead of doing the right thing. Ashley, she deserves so much better. And this case is a reminder that sometimes the most dangerous people really aren't strangers in the shadows. They're the ones who smile and tell you they've changed and ask you to trust them. This case, pointed out so quickly how trust can just turn into tragedy. And Ashley deserved better. And sometimes, true crime reminds us that the scariest monsters aren't hiding in the shadows. They're the ones just in your cell phone, a text message away. So thank you for sticking with me through this. It was a tough one. And I hope you guys stay safe. Don't ignore red flags. Maybe don't go basement hunting. This one was just tough. But if you enjoyed hearing something different, I guess enjoyed isn't the right word to use. If you thought that switching it up and doing a true crime episode was something that you'd like to hear more of, please let me know, because I'm just here to figure out what you guys want to hear. And if you're enjoying mysteries and true crime hunting and all that stuff, just let me know. We can keep it up. And as always, we got to laugh through the chaos and embrace the mess. You can follow me on YouTube at Mostly Accurate Podcast, Instagram at Mostly Accurate Podcast, Spotify, Apple, Pocket Casts, Castbox. I don't know, all of them, all of the streaming places. You'll find me there. Please follow, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let's get a conversation going. Thanks so much again for listening, guys. I will see you all next week. Love you. Bye. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The facts are fuzzy. Our stories and opinions are just that, stories and opinions, not meant to be taken as professional advice.